say build, what do you say?
Build.
When we say build, what do you say?
Build.
When we say build back, what do you say?
Build back.
When we say build back better, you say?
Build back better.
No. All right. Build. Build back.
Build back. Build back better. Build back better. 2021.
So,
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
build back.
Build back better.
in 2021.
That's it.
Y'all ready? Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back
Done
better.
in 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better. 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better.
In 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better.
In 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better.
In 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better. In 2021.
Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better. In 2021.
Say build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better. In 2021.
Say build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Build back better. In 2021.
Say build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Come on.
Build back better.
Build back better. In 2021.
Time. Build.
Build.
Build back.
Build back.
Build back better.
Get it done in 2021. Not one step back. Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
You heard the chant over here. Let's crank it up again. 1, we are the people. 2, a little bit louder. 3, we came here to build back better. Are we ready?
Come on now.
We need all your energy on this, all right? Here we go.
1.
We are the people.
2,
A little bit louder.
3,
And we came here to
build back better. 1,
We are the people.
2,
A little bit louder.
3. We came here to build back better. 1,
We are the people.
2, a little bit louder. 3.
We are here
To build back better. 1,
We are the people.
2, a little bit louder. 3. And we are here to build back better. 1,
We are the people.
2,
A little bit louder.
3. And we are here to build back better.
We are the people.
2, a little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people. 2, a little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people.
2.
A little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people. 2, a little bit louder. 3, and we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people. 2, a little bit louder. 3, and we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people. 2, a little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people.
2.
A little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people.
2.
A little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people.
2.
A little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1, we are the people.
2.
A little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better.
1, 2, 3.
Build back better. 1, 2, 3. Build back better. 1,
We are the people.
2, a little bit louder.
3.
And we are here to build back better. 1,
Other people.
2, 3. Build back better. 1.
Yeah. Give it up. If you are a speaker, if you would join us on stage right, house left, and find Reverend Kaz and I to line up. If you are a speaker. If you don't know if you're a speaker, then you're not. But if you are a speaker, then come over here and meet us so we can line up, so we can get started in an efficient manner. All right, forward together.
Not one step back.
Right now.
Tierra, come and help me with this just in case my Spanish is a little off.
Come on, sis.
Oh, gosh, I don't know what you're about to say.
Oye, mi gente, traemos la fuerza. Oye, mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Oye, mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Oye, mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up, my people, my condors, my eagles. No human being will ever be illegal. Rise up, my people, my condors, my eagles. No human being will ever be illegal. Forward together.
Not one step back.
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 Forward together.
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 Not 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 one step back.
I went down to the rich man's house. I took back what he stole from me. I took back my dignity. I took back my humanity. I went down to the rich man's house. I took back what he stole from me. I took back my dignity. I took back my humanity, and now it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Oh, 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 oh. I went down to Congress. I took back what they stole from me. I took back my dignity. I took back my humanity. Oh, I went down to Congress and I took back what they stole from me. I took back my dignity. I took back my humanity. Now it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. And don't let no system walk all over me. Now I need you to do me a favor. Right where you are, just move your feet a little bit. Just step in place. Just march where you are. Right where you are. March in place. We marching right now for justice. We're marching right now for truth. We're marching for a third reconstruction. Go ahead and move your feet a little bit as we get to this verse. Look here. I went down to a Union Station. I took where we are. What it stole from me. I took back
My dignity.
oh,
My humanity.
let them hear you. I took down to Union Station. I took back what they stole from me.
My dignity.
I took back my dignity.
My humanity.
Come on.
Took back my humanity.
And now it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Listen under my feet one more time. They like that. I said, it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet.
Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me.
We went down to the preacher's house.
I went down to the preacher's house. I took back what he stole from me. I took back
my dignity.
I took back
my humanity.
Come on. I went down to the preacher's house.
I took back my theology.
Take it back. Come on.
I took back my dignity.
My humanity.
I took back my humanity.
And now it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me.
No.
To the Capitol. I went down to the Capitol.
I took
back what they stole from me.
I
took back my dignity.
I
took back my humanity. Come on.
Went down to the Capitol.
I
Took back what they
Stole from me.
my dignity.
I took back my dignity.
My humanity.
I took back my humanity.
Yes,
And now it's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. It's under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Ain't gonna let no system, let's leave it down. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Last time, let them hear you, let them hear you. Ooh, oh, ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Somebody say freedom. Somebody say freedom. Lift your hands and say freedom.
Here we go. When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say healthcare. We want
Healthcare.
We want
Healthcare.
When I say we want, you say healthcare. We want
Healthcare.
We want
Healthcare.
When I say we want, you say voting rights. We want
Voting rights.
We want
Voting rights.
When I say we want, you say voting rights. We want
Voting rights.
We want
Voting rights.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
Come on, man. Come on. Okay, give me the beat. Somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on.
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on.
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
And we won't be silent anymore. Did you hear? Somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on.
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on.
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
And we won't
Be silent anymore.
Did you hear? Somebody's hurting the family, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on.
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on.
Far too long.
Yes, somebody's hurting the family, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
And we won't
Be silent anymore.
Don't you know? our health care, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody wants to take our health care, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Well, did you hear somebody's trying to steal our voting rights, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Yeah, somebody wants to steal our voting rights, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't
Be silent
anymore. Can we round that part right there? We won't be silent. And we won't
be silent anymore.
And we won't be silent. And we won't be silent anymore. Come on, one fist up if you really won't be silent. And we won't be silent anymore. It's okay, it's just a show of solidarity. And we won't be silent anymore. Come on, y'all, let's let them sing it. Let me hear you sing it. And we won't.
There you go.
Yeah, you're sounding good. Yeah, come on, come on. Come on. Come on, y'all, let's join us. We won't be silent. And we won't be silent anymore. Last time. And we won't be silent
Not one step back. Not one step back. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to Washington, D.C. Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. We are so glad that folks have joined us. Thank you to the West Virginia Motorcade. Let's give them some noise, some appreciation for coming here to the nation's capital because their politicians, their senators will not listen. And we got to come here. Indeed, we cannot, in these days, be silent. Not when there's the biggest attack on our democracy in our lifetimes. Not when 140 million people live in poverty or one healthcare crisis, one job loss, one emergency, like the emergencies we're seeing across the country in Kentucky and other places. We cannot be silent. So we're here to make our voices loud and clear. We got to protect and expand voting rights. We got to end this filibuster. We got to pass the Build Back Better agenda as a first step. We got to raise wages to a living wage. We got to protect all our immigrant brothers and sisters and siblings. And we need to protect sacred land like on Oak Flat and other places across this world. We're here. We're going to hear from a powerful litany of voices from states across the country, from organizations across the country. Did you know that today is the birthday of Ella Josephine Baker, a freedom fighter that we all can learn from. And she said to us, until everybody is free, there is no rest. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep marching. We're going to keep taking action together until everyone is free. And so now it is my great honor to introduce my co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for more revival, the Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II.
My brothers and sisters, I want somebody, this is not the clock we're supposed to have, Rob. It's supposed to be a big one on the bottom. I'm always trying to teach stuff. I don't know why. Listen. First, we have lost organizers to death in these tornadoes. It would be wrong for us not to have a certain level of sadness today, but also to declare that in their memory and in their name, they may have died, but this movement will continue to live. So would you stretch your hands to the skies for 30 seconds and remember those who've taken their flight untimely, but as a declaration that we will never forget them. We hold them forever in our memory and in our hearts. My brothers and sisters, we gathered here today to declare our independence from corporate lobbyists, the money grabbers, and those who control the narrative about what is possible here on Capitol Hill. They are, as Jeffrey Sachs said, a bunch of rich people trying to protect rich people. And they're not all rich people. We have some wealthy people of conscience, but some of them are just about power and greed. And for too long we have heard promises during campaigns that sound like it's going to lift up the people. And then once people get elected, they disappear at the end and during the congressional session because somebody somewhere that's got some deep pockets say it's not possible to get it done. Well, we refuse to accept the crisis of possibility and to say we can't get what's done needed to be done for God's people. Up here in D.C., Liz and I talk about it all the time. They want to separate us. They want you to fight for voting rights over here and fight for living wages over there. That's the Washington two-step. It's a way of siloing issues so that they can divide the fight back. But we're here to say, we know what you're doing. We peeped your whole card. We know what game you're playing, and you ain't dividing us no more, no how, no way. We are sick and tired of people moralizing about loving God and loving the Bible. But in your policies, you pass policies that don't have a damn thing to do with God or the Bible.
That's right.
So we've come to say, get it done in 21. And be real clear, we don't mean if you don't get it done in 21, we're going to run away and put our tail between our legs. If you don't get it done in 21, we are coming double in 22 and 23 and 24 and 25. We are here today to say clearly that we will not accept the lies. Somebody said, I know a lie when I hear it. And there's a lie of scarcity that we've been told over and over again. There's the lie of being a moderate. Dr. King said moderates were the worst enemy of the civil rights movement. Oh, yes, he did. Because all a moderate means is you're going to do just enough to do nothing. We are here to declare our independence from abusive politics. And my brothers and sisters, and particularly the women today, I want you to help me, brothers too, but we've got to call this what it is. This is abuse. This is political abuse. It's like a mean husband just beating you down. This is abuse. I want to remind you that we stand on sound political ground. Ground that's stronger than billionaires' financing. We stand on strong political ground and truth ground when we stand against the suppression of the vote and the suppression of our rights, because the poor and low wealth have rights. As far back as 1948, the UN declared that there are rights. The right to health care, the right to housing. 2,600 years ago, the prophets declared that the poor have rights. And our Constitution declares we have a right to the establishment of justice. We have a right to equal protection under the law. So the right time to fight for right is always right now. When you take $14 billion, put it in the last election, and then once you get elected, you do things to hurt the people, and then you want to turn around and suppress their vote. That's abusive. That's abusive. And you understand what Manchin is doing on the vote. The goal is to slow it down. Let the states get everything passed. See, here's the trick. He may actually vote on something in March just to try to look good before the election. But by March, all the bad bills will have been passed. All the bad redistricting will have been passed. We don't need March. We need right now. And any organization, black or white, that claims you are about the people and voting rights, and all you're doing is going in the back room with Manchin and not in the streets with the people, you are a part of the problem. Because you're giving him time. When you stop $15 in a union for 32 million people who work every day for less than a living wage, and restaurant workers who work for $2.13 an hour plus tips, that's abuse. That's political abuse and lies. When you refuse to address the poverty that's killing 250,000 people a year before COVID, that's abuse. When you block child tax credit that could help 39 million families and 61 million children, that's abuse, Anna. When you block the pay for 18 million workers who come into our homes and wash our backsides and clean our loved ones' bodies when nobody else can do it, that's abuse. It's abuse. Nothing but abuse. When you look around and you know that our foreparents, they shed blood to stop abuse. You say, Barber, why you call it abuse? I'm calling it what the Declaration of Independence calls it. That's where I got it from. I mean, I got it from my heart. I know what it is, but we've got language. That's how. In the Declaration of Independence, it says, whenever there's been a long train of abuse and usurpation by despotism, the people have a right and a duty to throw off that form of government. Help me, Holy Ghost. And to alter the direction of the nation. Even before the Constitution was written and signed and amended, the Declaration of Independence said that anything that is directly opposed to everybody having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which are God-given rights, it is a form of abuse. And I think it's been long enough. That same Constitution, Declaration of Independence says there are times when people can endure suffering, but there comes a time and we can't take it no more. Is that where we are? Huh? And now with this, on top of this pandemic, what's wrong with political leaders? when 800,000 people have died from COVID today. 20-some million lost their jobs. 8 million people more went into poverty, while billionaires made $2 trillion. What's wrong with you when you get up in the morning and all you can think to do with your power is to hurt more people? You are an abuser. You're full of sin. We've come to help you get free. But if you don't want to get free, you're going to get your foot the hell off our necks. And we'll deal with your freedom later. But we ain't going to be silent no more. And so as I close, I've been too long. But I want you to know that today, Liz, you brought up my sister, Ella Baker, whom my father worked with, who I used to go by her house. Yeah, in Littleton, North Carolina. But today is the 66th anniversary, 7 days removed from the beginning of the Montgomery bus boycott. Today, 66 years ago, they had been staying off the bus for 7 days. And they knew Jim Crow was a form of abuse. And they knew they had a right to throw it off. They knew they had a right to alter the course of history. And they didn't know how long it was going to take. But they didn't go in after 7 days talking about, I'm tired. I don't have much respect for leaders today talking about you tired. Do you know who we come from? They kept that campaign going for 381 days. Because they knew that losing was not an option. And they knew that the first victory is not them changing, but us fighting. And refusing to accept it quietly. And so for 381 days, I'm going to my seat, but they didn't have Twitter. They didn't have TikTok. They didn't have Facebook. They didn't have email. They didn't have all of you. They didn't have this diversity. But they did more with less. And how many of y'all know we got to do more with more? And if they could fight then, we've got to fight now. With love, we've got to fight. With the weapon of justice, we've got to fight. With the weapon of truth, we've got to fight. With the weapon of right, we've got to fight. How many of you are in this fight to win? Fight until justice rolls down like waters. Fight until the poor are taken care of. Fight until there's real investment in our communities. Fight until we roll back this voter suppression. Fight. I don't know how much money they got, but fight. I don't know how many lies they'll tell, but fight. I don't know how many times they'll tell us to quit, but fight. We heard today they were going to target me. They said if we went in the street, they got arrested. The rumors are they're going to target me and split me from you and put me in jail overnight to separate you from the rest of you. But you know what I said? I got another trick for them. I'm going to let y'all go in the street. Since they want to target me, I'm going to get some West Virginia and Kentucky. We're going to do a sit-in in Manchin's office. If you're going to target me, baby, come on and find it. Because this ain't about William Barber. This ain't about Liz Theo Harris. This is about poor and low-wealth people and our advocates. And we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we know this nation can be better. And we were born for such a time as this to change the course of history and throw off this abuse. God bless you. Forward together. And so Reverend Liz is coming, and everybody's coming and they're bringing their best 1 minute. They're acting like they're on right in Manchin's face or on CNN. No, they don't give you but 30 seconds. So folks say they're coming with their best 1 minute, and we start with the people, poor and low-wealth people who are impacted. Please take us through the first 12.
So we first want to bring up, because we have some senators that have been blocking, Senator Kirsten Sinema out of Arizona and Joe Manchin out of West Virginia. So please welcome Frank Thomas and John Wessel McCoy from Arizona.
I was born in the turmoil of the South in the 50s, the anger and depression in the West of the 60s, raised on welfare system, and suffered from academic negligence, low job opportunity, no career opportunity, piss poor pay, and hopelessness that was hard to face. The Voting Rights Act became effective August 6, 1965, but I wasn't exactly appreciating that as I was there 5 days later witnessing Los Angeles, California, South Central, devoured by the flames. The pain and the poverty exploded in violence. We need to let them know in Congress that we want the Freedom to Vote Act to pass and affirm what the 14th Amendment had promised us, the right for everybody to vote without abridgment. Right. We need to let them know, remind them of what's in the Declaration of Independence, that governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
That's right. That's right.
We may be poor. We do not have to be in despair.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We don't give our consent to this.
I'm a working father of 3 from Arizona, and I'm joining my voice with my sisters and brothers here today to demand a full Build Back Better plan and to protect and expand voting rights. And while you're at it, get rid of that racist filibuster. I stand in solidarity with my immigrant brothers and sisters. You know, this false message from the likes of Manchin and Sinema is what's good for the rich and the powerful is good for us all. And those in power are counting on us not to organize, not to educate ourselves. They want to keep us in the dark. This is Advent, people. They want us to keep us in dark, but they're counting on us to remain pitted against each other. But there's a power in being a part of a moral fusion movement. There's a power when we unite across the lines that divide us. That's why I'm here today. Let's get it done in 21. And you know what? If they don't, if these elected officials don't do what's right, we're coming back. And also, save Oak Flat. Save Oak Flat, people. Come on.
All right. We had a powerful motorcade from West Virginia that joined us today. Let's give it up for that motorcade. That's right. And now we want to hear from 2 powerful leaders from West Virginia, Reverend Paul Dunn and Catherine Joswick. Let's give a huge welcome to West Virginia. West Virginia's here at this rally.
Senator Manchin, as a spiritual leader of downtown Charleston, West Virginia, I stand to rise to say today, we need to lift up in your ear the prophetic Micah mandate. In the Bible, he said, what does God require of you? To act justly, to show mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Holding up progress on a bill that will lift so many people out of poverty is not acting justly.
That's right. That's right.
Neglecting to vote on things that will help other people vote and give them the right to vote is not showing mercy.
That's right.
And refusing to communicate and compromise on things that will lift up this nation is not walking humbly with our God. I stand to say we will not sit silent. We will not stand still. You need to hear our voice today, and we're going to keep lifting up our voice, and we're going to keep on marching, and we're going to keep on coming back until justice rolls down like waters, until righteousness rolls like a mighty stream. West Virginia needs you to stand up and be the leader that we voted you to be.
That's right. Yes, sir, Reverend.
I represent the thousands of West Virginians who are tired of being ignored and poisoned by Manchin and his corporate overlords.
That's right.
Shame on you, Joe Manchin.
Shame on.
You should stand with the ordinary people of West Virginia and the country.
That's right.
In 2018, when thousands of your constituents alerted you to the dangers of a toxic factory being built in Jefferson County, you did nothing. Rockwell, a Danish corporation, wanted to export its pollution from Denmark to the U.S. by building a coal and fracked gas fueled factory directly across the street from a Title I elementary school and a low-income neighborhood. As a consequence of your inaction, that factory is operational and is now, the schoolyard is filled with acrid toxic fumes and our water is already contaminated by metals and pollutants.
Wow.
West Virginians and the rest of the country deserve jobs that don't make us choose between employment and our health and our environment. Support the Build Better Act with us. Stand with us, Joe Manchin. Take a step forward and take your place in history.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's right. Somebody's been hurting our people. Somebody's been poisoning the water, and we will not be silent anymore. I'm going to call states up two at a time. We have a powerful group of testifiers. So I'm going to introduce Reverend Tani Algood out of the great state of Alabama, and Kevin Carter, Brother Carter out of California.
Come on down to Alabama and you'll be welcomed by a sign that says, "Welcome to Sweet Home, Alabama." But I'm here to tell you today there's nothing sweet for the 2.1 million of us who are living in poverty. There's nothing sweet about them denying us the right to vote. There's nothing sweet about the 85,000 who are uninsured, who are suffering and dying. There is nothing right about them criminalizing us for being poor and then spending $400 million of art funds to build 2 multi-billion-dollar prisons. There's nothing. Manchin and his kind have been carrying water for the corporations.
That's right.
But worse than that, when they pass policies that deny people the right to live, they're acting as hitmen.
That's right.
We are not sheep that will be led to the slaughter.
That's right.
We are fighters. And we will fight on and we will grow till we win. Forward together.
Not one step back. That's it.
People of color, my sisters and brothers, my name is Brother Carter. I'm from the state of California. You've heard everybody speak today, but I'm going to leave you with something in poetry. We're in the fierce urgency of now, to where we have love on the front line. And love on the front line is a dangerous way to live, because in the end, no one wins. If we don't get the things and the necessaries that holds to our lives today. 38 years ago, something happened in the state of California that reflects to our freedom and democracy. In 1848, James Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill. Well, in 1983, it was working as a security guard, I discovered gold. In 1909, Double Eagle St. Gaudens. And I'm going to leave you with this poem because this poem is about you. I found a coin of gold. It had the year 1909, and it was full of hope. This coin I found in its mystery. This lady stood for our history and the birthright of our democracy. This coin I found, I will always claim. It is for the people to see of its natural remains. You see, it's a gold coin of liberty that holds the interest and justice for all. May it remain and teach us all. And may the Spirit of God join us all, so we as a people never fall. God bless you. When we start from the bottom, when we start from the bottom, yes, let us continue to rise up, stand up, and speak up. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
That's right. All right. Indeed, when we lift from the bottom, everybody rises. Amen. All right, we got folk from Georgia and Florida next. I welcome Pastor Neil Tellier and Guadalupe de la Cruz. Give a hand for our people from the South.
Good afternoon. My name is Pastor Neil Tellier. I'm here today to implore our leaders to pass the Build Back Better plan and the voting rights legislation before the end of the fiscal year, to end of this year, to help us combat the extremely classist and racist voting legislation that was passed and signed into law on March 25th in the state of Georgia. Senate Bill 202 is one of the most heinous bills that has ever been signed into law, ruining voting rights for all. It is not the lies that these provisions support, it's the lies that they are trying to validate in order to undermine our democracy. With 60% of those who are specifically responsible for creating these laws actually believing that the 2020 election was stolen. If it were not for these men believing that lie, they would have never changed these rules, because they had just changed them 4 years ago after the re-election of President Barack Obama to get 45 elected. They just changed them, and then they re-changed them 4 years later to fit their narrative. So I asked Senator Warnock today and Senator Ossoff that they compromise no longer and that we go forward together.
That's right.
One step back. All right.
Your energy feeds me. Are we here? Estamos presente. My name is Lupita. I am from the state of Florida. And I'm here to tell you I'm a single mother to a sassy 7-year-old. And today I worked 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Sorry. I worked 3 jobs and found myself working and living paycheck to paycheck. I crunched numbers every day and would say, if I work this many hours, I'm going to make it happen. And that making happen was paying rent, was paying the light bill, and was buying groceries. There were several times my lights was cut off, and like any parent, we stay strong for our kids, and we hurt in silence. But today, I stay silent no more.
No more.
It matters to hear my story because other parents and caretakers are in this situation. The CTC helped me find a way to catch a break. CTC has benefited at least 4.7 million children, and that means 4 million children like mine are being supported and uplifted. That means parents and care providers have peace of mind during the holidays. So when the community shows up demanding more, it's because our government has the power to do so. So we say forward together.
Not one.
Forward together. Forward together.
You know, this campaign has an agenda. It's called the Third Reconstruction. Building from ending poverty and low wealth from the bottom up. So it's not that we have a scarcity of ideas. It's not that we have a scarcity of resources. We've got a scarcity of conscience and a scarcity of courage. And what we have are people who are in office who are engaging in political sin and abusive sin, political abuse. And we cannot accept it. Somebody say it's time. With everything we have, every nonviolent tool we have, to throw it off and reshape the course of history. I want to ask impacted people who are coming now from Megan Drilling from Illinois and Patrick Joseph from Sailing from Indiana and Abraham Funches Jr. from Iowa, if all 3 of them would come at this time.
My name is Megan Drilling from the state of Illinois. There are 4.7 million people who are low income or poor. As a woman, I am angry that 58% of those people are women. Yeah. Women are underrepresented in our misogynistic government and overrepresented in poverty. Women in Illinois need the Build Back Better plan. Our 2 Illinois senators are ready to vote for the Build Back Better plan, which is only a small step to help the women in Illinois. Yet Manchin and Sinema stand in our way. Kirsten, I speaking to you, woman to woman. From our childhoods, we both know how easy it is for families to fall into poverty. You should want to help the poor. Help little Kristen get out of that abandoned gas station. Kirsten, if the wealthy and the corporations paid their fair share, we could lift up the 78 million women living in poverty in our country. We should not have to beg Senator Sinema to do the bare minimum for women.
Patrick, my brother.
Not Patrick. Tim White, Indiana.
Oh, they got the wrong one.
Yeah, he's the co-chair, and they appointed him in the last minute. I was the elected delegate.
Go ahead.
My name is Tim White. I'm also known as Harry Hippie. I don't have a clue why. I worked in automotive manufacturing in Indiana for over 20 years. After my marriage dissolved in divorce, I began suffering from severe anxiety and depression. I lost my last job, my last home, my health insurance, and my self-respect, becoming one of the 20 million poor in the Midwest industrialized states. In 2013, I packed everything I could on my back and hitched 20 miles to Indianapolis for homeless services for veterans, and didn't get much help. So I'm continuing my journey to help all Americans to build back better to get it done in 2021. This is why we demand Build Back Better in 21. Build Back Better will make health care, child care, and housing more affordable. Build Back Better is $170 billion per year versus national defense authorization for $778 billion per year. Let's get it done in 21.
700 people die from poverty and inequality every day. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to press our politicians to do their job and fight for the people across these United States of America. And we have the power to be great because all of us can serve. Dr. King said that. I want to leave you with this, with the hope that we might inspire some. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, then just be a shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub by the side of the wheel. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. Because it's not by size that you win or you fail. Just be the best of whatever you are. God bless you.
Yes, sir. We have, hold on a second. We have a statement from Jeffrey Sachs, who was a leading economist. And Jeffrey couldn't be here today, but he wanted us to tell you all that he's been economists who know what's right and know what's moral and have been fighting this stuff with the figures. They are so overjoyed to see a movement coming together, a movement that is together, and they've made a commitment to organize at least 50 to 100 leading economists to come alongside the Poor People's Campaign. So that when they talk about we don't know what we're talking about, we say, yeah, we do, and our friends do as well. And so to the media, we're going to release it. Steve, I've sent it to you. I want you to release it to all the media. Now, the essence of it is Manchin lying. And he know he's lying. When he says the reason he doesn't want to support it because inflation. Jeffrey Sachs and these economists said the inflation that we have is the result of COVID, the result of economic impact like we haven't seen since the Great Depression. It's a natural ebb and flow in the way our economy works. That the Build Back Better plan as a step is spread out over time. So it's over 10 years. So it's not going to increase or cause inflation. And if they really wanted to deal with inflation, they would raise the corporate tax like they're supposed to and make the wealthy pay their fair share. Stop lying, Manchin. We on your trail, baby. And we coming. Senator, this ain't no movement to play with. We come with the facts. Huh? Now, if you're gonna do something, you better stop lying because we're going to catch you. Say, catch him. Because we're tired of the abuse. And one of the things people that have been abused have to get are the facts. And one of the facts has to be you don't have to take it no more. You don't have to accept it. And so in a moment, we're going to have two other economists that are going to come and read a statement, because we always want to have the right footnotes to our fight and our voice. At this time, we're going to have the Reverend Letha Frazier from Kansas. And these are, and talk about Reverend, I need y'all to tell you how you are impacted, because that's part of what we ask people to do today. And then our dear sister and fighter from Kentucky. Y'all here, I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say nothing. Sister Fogel is always on time. And also Diana Marie Edwards from Maryland, if y'all would come at this time. Now, we've got Sister, Lord, I can't hardly read this here. Come down, I need some specs. Who is that? Marina Lahia. Who? Koyoke. It said you're going to pay for all of the bail day. No, this is our credit card, and we got your wallet up here, baby. And we need you to come get it. We got a red iPhone. Anybody see a red iPhone? It's got Alabama, red iPhone. Attorney Fire Road. Give it up for Fire Road. Yeah, red iPhone. Let's go.
It has become increasingly clear to me that we as a nation are at a critical point. We must pass the Build Back Better plan as one step, or this nation is sending a message to its disabled and elderly folks that number at least 800,000 that are waiting on the Medicaid list because they need better health care and in-home services. We must send a message that we care about human life more than we care about militarism.
That's right.
And more than we care about militarizing our neighborhoods. So instead of words, we want action. So we ask that we get it passed, the Build Back Better plan, in 2021.
Yeah. Help my sister. Good.
Oh. All right, we in Washington, D.C., and y'all been a little bit too quiet for me, but let me get this going, okay? Town of Fogel, Kentucky, 170,000+ Kentuckians and millions across the nation still do not have the right to vote. That is immoral. We know that the people who are sworn into office, they know what we know. We know that the power of the vote will change the narrative. So they are trying to keep on suppressing, getting out the voting rights, suppressing places all across the nation. That is immoral. The other thing I want to let you know is that dare to dream that this nation is pulled together because of their racist policies. We have got to stop that now. I love M&Ms. They melt in your mouth and not in your hands. But the M&Ms that we are aware of, Manchin and McConnell, we need to take back this land. That we're putting them on notice. Here we come to put back this nation. Let me hear you say it. Get it done in 2021. Get it done in I can't hear you. Get it done in 2021. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, get it done in 2021. I am the Reverend Dana Edwards, and I am here representing the 2.3 million poor and low-income people in the state of Maryland. Yes, and I am here as the mother of 3 children with chronic illness. And I'm calling on Congress to pass the Build Back Better plan so that every parent can count on universal pre-K for their 3- and 4-year-olds. So that every parent continues to have access to the child tax credit to ease the burdens of the escalating costs of child care and health care. And so that every parent has the peace of mind to know that if their child gets sick, they have the right to paid family medical leave. Congress, you have a chance today, right now, to show voters that you value families, that you value mothers like me. Stop stalling and pass the Build Back Better plan now. Get it done in 2021.
All right. Let's get it done. Get it done. Get it done. All right, I want to introduce three powerful women. Savina Martin out of Massachusetts. Pamela Walker Dawson out of Michigan. And Vivian Marie Henry from Minnesota. Let's hear it from them now.
My name is Savina Martin, an impacted Army veteran from Massachusetts, and there are over 85,000 of us with incomes below $35,000, and we are sick and tired of fighting these endless wars and can't make enough to live. Stop the war on the poor. We demand housing, not a tent. We shouldn't have to come home from war and live in the subway station, on the street, in the grates. The cost of wars has harmed over 900,000 families. This is insane. While the rich have a winter house and we have no room at the inn. This Build Back Better plan is just a step. We need to pass it, but not now. Tomorrow. Not now. Tomorrow. Build our infrastructure of our lives. Pass that bill immediately. My name is Savina Martin, and we only get what we are organized to take. And everybody has a right to live.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, my name is Pamela Walker Dawson. I'm from Michigan, especially from Detroit. I have been a Detroit election volunteer for 25 years. I was really pissed and upset when Michigan got accused of doing voter fraud. But there is a God in heaven on December 6th on December 6th, the Supreme Court overturned that false accusation. So I'm asking now that we expand the voting rights. It is a lifeline for democracy. Thank you.
Somebody say, stop the war! Stop the war! On the poor! Stop the war! On the poor! Can you put them in the air? In the air, stop the war! On the poor! Stop the war! On the poor! Right now! Right now! Build it up! From the bottom! Build it up! From the bottom! Everybody has a right to live. I just checked in. There are hundreds of thousands of people on live stream that are checking us. And they're on live stream saying we on live stream today, but when you mobilize June 18, 2022 for a mass poor people's low-wage workers assembly and moral march on Washington, we will be here to shake the foundation of this nation. Here's another fact for the media. The Institute of Policy Studies looked at this bill. Now, this will make you say cuss. I'm sorry. I'm going to make somebody cuss. They're going to have to say at least damn. It says, and that's a good biblical word. That's why I keep using it. And it says a budget is a moral document. What does it say when we spend more for the Pentagon contracts to a single company in 1 year, Lockheed Martin, $75 billion, than we would spend for child care and preschool in the whole 10 years of the Build Back Better plan? Damn.
That's right. All right, so Vivian Marie Henry out of Minnesota. Then we got Emily Johnson out of Mississippi. And Angela Montalvo out of Nebraska. Give a big welcome to our sisters now.
Can everyone hear me? Hi, I'm Vivian Henry from Minnesota. That's right, but I'm short. I'm 4'11", so, you know.
Stand tall.
But I stand tall and I fight.
Yeah.
I had I'm winging this, people, so please bear with me, okay? All right, actually, on the way here, I actually fell down. And I started crying, but I got back up, and that's been my whole life, because I was born... I was born a preemie. I was in the Xenia tornado, one of the worst ever in 1974. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, and I've had to fight and fight and fight. I'm sick and tired, but I'm still fighting.
That's right.
I'm fighting back against the evil and the injustice that is going on. I've been poor for the past 5 years. I only get $203 general assistance in Minnesota per month. $191 SNAP, food stamps, and Medicaid. In the course, I have 4 mental health challenges and a whole bunch of other stuff. So and I actually had a friend who told me that they should take away my Medicaid. Are you kidding me? And he basically called me a welfare queen. Really? Wow. $203 cash per month? How am I a welfare? He said because of the health care. I get such expensive health care. That's insane.
That's right.
I deserve health care. Everyone deserves health care. Yes. And I told Reverend Lewis to pull me because I don't know how long I have now. But the fight, keep on fighting. We have to fight. It's good versus evil. This is not Democrats versus Republicans.
That's right.
It's good versus evil. And we have to fight the evil. The evil can't win. It's immoral.
That's right.
All right. It's pouring together.
Stay right here. My sister called it. My sister called it. And she's using language that's as old as the Bible. That says when you hurt the poor and you rob them, it's a form of evil. Now they don't like that word, but it's time to get real. When folk die that don't have to die, it's a form of evil. When every politician in that Congress gets free health care just because they got elected and then don't want the people that elected them to have the same thing they have, that's a form of political evil. My sister, we got you. Somebody put your hand and say, we got you. Look at somebody and say, if you fall, we'll pick you up. And keep right on fighting. We're tired, but we're not tired of fighting. We're tired of them and their foolishness. And that's why we fight.
Oh, and I have to say one more thing. Mental health experts matter. Listen to them. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Emily Johnson, and I'm from Mississippi. And I want to emphasize that exploitation does not have a face, color, or a party. I'm here as a sex trafficking survivor, formerly incarcerated, and living in long-term recovery from drug addiction. And I'm a low-wage worker. I'm a single mother of 4, working 2 jobs, 7 days a week for the last 4 years. I'm barely making ends meet. I am tired. I have been faced with many challenges in my life due to a broken system in the state of Mississippi that has a long history of punishing the poor while rewarding the corrupt, wealthy class. I'm here today and I stand with the Poor People's Campaign and I demand that you pass the Build Back Better plan as this affects the livelihood of my family and myself. I deserve a fair chance. I deserve higher wages, better health care, and expansion of our voting rights.
Give me 5, sister. Yeah. Y'all know they don't like all this diversity, don't you? But they might as well get used to it.
Yeah. My name is Angela Montalvo, and I represent the Nebraska Poor People's Campaign and the 642,000 poor and low-wealth Nebraskans. Wow. I'm one of 34,000 veterans in Nebraska with incomes less than $35,000. We are 25% of the Nebraska veteran population. Wow. The provisions of the Build Back Better plan are being funded through taxes on corporations and the wealthy, people and businesses who have not been paying a fair share in their taxes. Meanwhile, my fellow Nebraskans and I have contributed a total of $33.2 billion in the past 20 years to war. The time has come to invest in our communities, our children, and we the people. Forward together.
I had somebody, they were caught, one day they were telling Liz and I, they were kind of saying it in an offhanded way. They were kind of complaining. They said to me, why don't you just hang around black people? And they were asking Liz, why don't you just hang around white people? And we said, why don't you just shut up and let us build this movement? Because it don't matter to us if you black, if you Latino, if you Pacific Asian, if you indigenous, if you're whatever you are, gay or straight or trans or single or divorced or whatever you are. We are America. We are God's creation, and we ain't going nowhere. And so we got Carol Gay-Fenty from New Jersey, and Tanisha, is that right, Tanisha Lattimore from New York, and Brian Mallory from Ohio, and Marina Smith from Oklahoma. Come on up at this time.
Good afternoon. Carol Gay from New Jersey. And New Jersey's message for Congress today is we have heard enough. We have had enough. We have heard enough talk, enough excuses, enough evasion. People are hurting, and it's time for action. Get it done in 2021. Yes. First, our message for Joe Manchin and his Maserati is that the growing inequality gap, the ever-widening wealth gap is obscene and immoral. So tax the ultra-wealthy. Tax the mega-rich. Number 2, health care is a human right. Our seniors deserve better. Pass, improved, expanded Medicare and Medicaid now. And third, Congress, wake up. We have a climate crisis. Our children deserve a future. Invest in clean energy, clean renewable energy now. And lastly, move the money from militarism to meet human needs. Stop lining the pockets of the greedy military contractors. Put people first. Put people first. Put people first. Put people first.
Hi. My name is Tanisha Logan Lattimore, and I live in upstate New York. I'm a mother of 8 young black men. I'm here to advocate for your family and mine. I'm tired of the injustices. I'm tired of the struggles. I am tired of the fear and being treated as less than. I preach to my family the importance of the right to vote and to be upstanding citizens and to carry themselves with love and respect, despite the fact that they do not get it in return. I am tired of being sick and tired. That's right. And I have decided that I must be a part of the change instead of hoping that someone else will do it. I am standing arm in arm with my brothers and sisters, fighting for the social justice, the right to vote, human rights, quality health care, and a safe and secure place to raise our families, clean water, and the right to be black and live safely in the United States. We must show our children and others that identify with them that you have to make a stand and be willing to use your voice, your mind, your body to live equally and safely. Let's get it done in 2021.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Mallory.
Hey, Brian.
And I'm introducing myself because my grandfather Mallory used to say it's good to be met, but better than being viewed.
That's right.
And in my community in Cleveland, Ohio, where I live, every day we see the intersection of the 5 interlocking evils. In my city that has a world-famous healthcare facility, we have some of the highest infant mortality rate rivaling the third world. I live in a city that is so over-policed, we know what that feels like. In my neighborhood, where we have ecological devastation and people who are going without their needs being met, we know what that looks like every day. I live in a senior citizen building and public housing, And I know everybody has a right to live. Everybody has a right to thrive. In the richest country that has ever been in the history of the world, this is our time. This is our moment. We cannot allow this to stand any longer. So I'm here in the city where I was born, and I'm asking, which side are you all on?
Which side are you on?
Are you going to stand with me? Are we going to fight? We're going to get it done in 2021, right? This is the first step. We need this third reconstruction.
That's right.
We're not playing about this.
That's right.
We're coming back, and we're going to be here, and we're not going anywhere. Thank you, y'all. We love you.
Thank you, Doc. One thing a movement has to know is when you're selling wolf tickets and when you really have power. What they don't want us to understand is that poor and low-wealth people now represent 30% of the electorate and 40% in battleground states. And in this country, if we could just organize 20% of poor and low-wealth people who didn't vote, who are already registered, we could change every election in every state. You're not going to hear that from the pundits. You're not going to hear that from the political operatives. They tell them don't even talk about poverty. Don't talk about the poor people. But we have to know that just like in the Bible when they had the children of Israel locked up, the Bible says, and they grew in the midst of the oppression. And Pharaoh looked out one day and said, Lord, have mercy. There's more of them than there are of us. God has let us live long enough to where the poor and low-wealth people are no longer in the margins of society. And we have power. Turn to somebody and say, power, 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 moral power, standing power, voting power. And tell them if you've got power to do right, you ought to use it. Are you all ready? Say systemic racism. We're going to use our power to change it. Systemic poverty. We're going to use our power to change it. Ecological devastation. Denial of health care. Underfunding education. The war economy. The false narrative of religious nationalism. White supremacy. Here we come in love, in justice, in nonviolence, but in power. You all have been doing so great. We got 25 minutes before we hit the streets. Y'all ready? We got to work through everybody here. We think we got a few more people to speak, but just before, y'all come here a second. You know, we are a movement that understands that you got to sing. So for 30 seconds, Leah, 30 seconds, we want you to open your mouths loud as you can with your mask. And there's a song, y'all, I'm going to start it off key, you find the right key. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you? We're on the freedom side. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Ella Baker is a freedom fighter. She taught us how to fight.
Yeah.
And we gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Yeah.
Reverend Liz is a freedom fighter. She taught us how to fight. And we gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on? 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 You know Bishop Barber is a freedom fighter. Taught us how to fight. And we gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? 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 Which side are you on?
That's right. We've been posing that question to our politicians. Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, Senator McConnell. Which side are you on? Because we're on the people's side. I want to call up Mary Ann Smith out of Oklahoma. And then after her, we're going to hear from Rabbi Michael Pollack out of Pennsylvania. We're going to hear from Pamela Poniatowski out of Rhode Island and Reverend Amiri Hooker out of South Carolina. All right, Mary Ann.
Senators, our children are our future, and we are failing them. You are failing them. And we're here to demand that you change this now. I am a mom, a grandma of 6. Never did I think that my grandchildren would have less access to health care or the ballot box than I did at their age. But here we are. Even though the citizens voted to expand Medicaid in 2020 in Oklahoma, our politicians have yet to abide by the rule of the people. This directly affects thousands of our children. Oklahoma children need and deserve this legislation. Let's get this done in 2021. Pass the Build Back Better bill and voting rights legislation now, for the sake of our children, grandchildren, and future.
My name is Rabbi Michael Pollack, and I'm coming to you today from Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania last night, 1 in 7 children went to bed hungry. In Pennsylvania, every year we produce 1% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. And in Pennsylvania, bribery and corruption are 100% legal. Over a century ago, a corrupt Pennsylvania U.S. senator and political machine boss named Boise Penrose sat down with his oligarch donors, with Rockefeller, with Carnegie, with Mellon, and he said to them, I believe in the division of labor. You send us to Congress, we pass laws that make you money. And out of the money you make, you further contribute to our campaign to send us back here to make you more money. And that's the game that we're here to break. That's the corruption that Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema are carrying out every day. That's what we are here to stop. The prophet Ezekiel said, in your people are people who take bribes to shed blood. The blood of our brothers and sisters cries out to us, and we will not stand idly by. Forward together.
Not one step back.
Hi, I'm Pamela. After working for 30 years, I became disabled and have been on a waiting list for housing for 3 years so far, staying in friends' homes. I'm one of those people that is $400 away from disaster. The recent letter I received from one of the housing developments in Rhode Island told me that I don't make enough money to qualify for low-income housing. How absurd is that? Also in Rhode Island, we currently have 1,200 people asking for beds this winter because otherwise they will be out on the street. That is unacceptable in a country as rich as ours. We have 5 vacant houses for every homeless person. The Build Back Better bill would begin to help us with the low-income housing shortage by prioritizing the building of 1 million low-income housing units. But if we do not stop evictions by creating a moratorium or debt relief, there will be tens of millions of people out in the streets, and many of them will be children. Do we want children in the streets? No. Protect voting rights and get it done in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Call them out. Somebody's phone is ringing.
All right, better.
Oh, that's the ice cream truck. They need to play an ambulance. It's an emergency around here. We got just a few. Come on, big man. This is my brother. Y'all know that, right?
This is Reverend Amari Bernard Hooker. I'm a pastor in South Carolina, in rural South Carolina.
That's it.
And I'm sick of my members, my community, and my neighbors being killed and crying and dying while politicians elected and appointed are not doing their job to take care of the people and to help the community. And it's time up and time out for that kind of foolishness. You need to understand, this is not just about the Build Back Better plan.
That's right.
This is about people in our community falling by the wayside, being left by the side of the road, being left in the pimple, and not having any help. I am tired of the cowardness of our elected officials. I'm tired of them playing poverty monopoly with hurting people. And it's time out for something. I know, and they know, in South Carolina, the minimum wage should be $24.93 an hour.
Yes, sir, Doc.
And it's still $7.25. And that's not just biblically wrong. That's morally wrong. It's a damn shame to allow folk to work every day and still be hungry.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I'm tired of it. And I'm sick of it. Of burying my members by suicide when just $2 an hour, the campaign found out, would have saved 5,700 folk from committing suicide. I'm tired of burying my members.
That's right.
I'm tired of burying my community. I'm tired of senators not doing their job. Senator Scott and Senator Graham.
Yeah.
Let's get them down and let's do it right. Forward together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Everybody has a right to live.
Everybody. All right, I got 6 more state leaders I'm going to call up right in a row. Everyone's going to be ready to with their points. We got Edie Amanda Lowe out of Tennessee. We got Jack Golub out of Texas. We have Reverend Joan Javier Duval out of Vermont. Ian Schaefer Lorenz out of Washington State. Eric Peterson out of Wisconsin, and Pastor Vance Haywood out of North Carolina.
Right. And we just got another report. Thousands more have joined us online. Thousands more. In a moment, we're going to need you to do something. Come on up, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I hail from the great state of Tennessee. My name is Edith Amanda Love. I'm a Unitarian Universalist minister. I am queer and unemployed. I am the mother of 5 children, 2 of whom are transgender, and I come from a state where poverty is 38%. 2.5 million people in my state live in poverty, and that is evil. That is evil. There's plenty of money to go around. Plenty of it. It's evil to hoard the money and keep it from people who have basic human rights like food and shelter. It is just plain evil. It is wrong, and it is time to get it done in 2021.
That's my other brother.
That's right. Why do you even have to protest?
Ah, say that.
One of my students asked me.
Say that. Yes, sir.
What a good question.
What a good question.
I live on Cesar Chavez Street in Austin, and nearby we got one of his quotes. We don't need perfect political systems. We need perfect participation. Now, as a teacher, I know the value of participation. My students' voices tell me their needs. My state wants to ignore the needs of my students and their families. Here's one student's family. Mom is at home all day working for a young child. Dad's out working construction. My student comes back immediately, is taking care of her sibling so that her mom can go work as a cook for the night. When Dad gets back, he's too tired to even heat up the food that his wife left him. And so my student feeds her father. Mom and Dad don't have the time or energy to spend hours at a voting place. They don't get to participate. That's why we have to protest.
That's why. That's why. Yes, sir. That's why.
That's why. I'm the Reverend Joan Javier Duval from the state of Vermont. Under the golden dome of our state capitol, just 3 blocks from the church that I serve, our governor has vetoed legislation that would raise the minimum wage. He has vetoed legislation that would institute paid medical leave. Meanwhile, low-income workers and immigrant farm workers still don't have adequate wages or health care. Meanwhile, our homeless shelters are overflowing. People living on the streets are dying, and drug overdoses are surging. We are sick and tired of the death by neglect. We are sick and tired of those in power turning away from the suffering across our green mountains. We are sick and tired of the lack of leadership. We need federal legislation that doesn't just offer a helping hand, but that saves lives. Congress, it is time to act now. Take this first step, pass the Build Back Better plan. Everyone deserves a right to live. Get it done?
My name is Ian, and I'm an organizer with the WAPPC. I'm a queer retail and restaurant worker. My state is home to 2.5 million poor and low-wealth folks, and our needs cannot wait. We are represented by 2 senators, so I am told, but I don't know about it because they don't talk to us much about the issues that count.
That's right.
For months, we've called on Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray to apply direct pressure on Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, but they've been silent. It is disgraceful that my senators allowed 2 votes to stand between us and critical legislation. We demand 15 in a union, expansion, not restoration, expansion of voting rights, immigrant protections, the protection of Oak Flat, and Build Back Better. Fun fact, Patty Murray is the 3rd highest ranking Senate Democrat. She's been a senator longer than I've been alive. She has the power to move Manchin and Sinema. And so we are organizing people all across Washington state, bringing thousands in, demanding Patty Murray, Maria Cantwell, get it done in 2021.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Beautiful day, huh? Isn't it gorgeous out here? I'm happy to be here. I come from Madison, Wisconsin. Yay, Wisconsin. And there's an encampment in a park called Rindall Park that's all homeless people. I'm here to talk to you today about homelessness. There are dozens of people living in this park that recently they were all evicted, and they were told to go elsewhere, find another place to live. They provided what they call tiny homes. You might have heard of those before. And their tiny homes are very poorly insulated. They're cold. They're small. It's not a humane way to live.
That's right.
So we're calling on everyone to get into the Build Back Better plan that'll increase the earned income tax credit for working families and people around the world, around the nation.
Yes, sir.
So we're coming for you, Ron Johnson. Thank you. Thanks.
I think he's serious. He took his time to say that.
My name is Vance Haywood, and I'm a queer pastor of a queer church in Raleigh, North Carolina. Last night in Raleigh, North Carolina, the temperatures dropped to 27, and 107 people sought shelter in our church, an emergency shelter that was set up to literally save lives. Those 107 people included families with children. It included trans folk. It included queer folk. This is literally a matter of life and death. This is not about comfort. It isn't about just coming and making a show. This is literally about saving people's lives. This year alone in the United States, over 40 trans people have been murdered or killed because of them simply being who they are.
That's right.
Over 40 here in the United States of America. The majority are black trans women. The vast majority. Something has to change. Their lives matter. Something has to change. And if they don't start passing the voting rights and protections now, we will continuously see these lives slaughtered, murdered. Something has to change. Get it done in 21.
Something has to change. And we are the change that must make the change happen. You know, my brother Hayward, that's another thing they told us. You know, we got to keep straightening folk out in the Poor People's Campaign. I had some friends say, some people come and say, you know, if y'all would organize without the queer and the trans and the gay folk, we would join you. Well, we don't need you if that's your attitude. You're going to get converted after a while. But we want everybody that loves everybody that help raise the change that everybody ought to have. We had a sister that came up from Maine. And she left at 10 o'clock last night. They just got here. And nowhere in the world we were going to push forward without letting her speak. Is that right? See, because in a movement that you say you care about poor people, and Lord, you got to care about one another. So come on, my dear sister. Where is she? Hey, 10 o'clock. Last night.
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Just got here.
Yes.
But you're here now.
I am.
Well, we ready to fight. You here now.
Yes,
all right, all right.
I'm ready for I'm here now. Y'all are here now. We are ready to do this. My name is Denise Smith. I am from Bangor, Maine. I'm a grandmother of 5. I mean, a mother of 5, a grandmother of 2. I'm a community mother. I share my resources with my community to give them a better community. I cook for the homeless every Saturday. We go into the encampments and give these people food and the information that they need to have a better life. It's
all right.
I know. I got it. I'm a fighter. I don't stop until I drop, and I don't drop very much. And my people from Maine, we don't drop much neither.
That's right.
Okay? We go to the Congress office, Susan Collins, Agnes King, Gerald Golden, and now I want to go there.
That's right.
I want to be one of the people in my community that stands up for my community because I live for my community. Even though that's not what's on my paper right now.
That's why it's in your heart.
But it's coming from my heart.
That's right.
And I believe that my community can do better. And my community works very strong together. We just lost 3 gentlemen December 5th. 3 days before, on December 1st, we had to clean out their encampments. And they had no place to go. Well, there was a fire on Union Street in my city of Bangor. We lost 3 of the men that were in them encampments. My city right now is grieving. They should not be grieving. The city council should be stepping up and doing the right thing.
That's right.
And they are not. So I am going to drive them crazy because that's what I do.
That's it.
And that's what I'm going to do. And me and all my community friends and my fellow people of the PPC, we are going to make sure they give us the right answers because we are not going to take no more.
That's it. No more. No more. No. And the truth is, what we do, they call it crazy, but it's sanity. So we're going to drive them crazy so they can get sane. Because it's a form of it's morally inconsistent and irreprehensible, and it's economically insane to see what's happening. And none of it has to be. None of this has to exist. Don't believe none of this poverty. It does not have to be. And let me tell you all, they are more worried about us organizing than they let on. That's why they do so hard, both sides of the aisle, to try to never even say the word poverty or low wage. Now listen, we've got to move into the street. We had 39 partners, but we said to all our partners, we always put the people first. Impacted. I'm going to ask 4 of those partners to come for their 1 minute. Then when we get to the street, we're going to Pennsylvania Avenue. Since we're going to be there in 2022, we might as well start there in 2021. Now 2022, we're going to fill it all the way up, from one end to the other. Is that right? But today we're going to take it to the street. We're going to engage in direct action. I'm going to ask 4 groups to come, and each of these leaders to come. They are partners and stand with. And then we get there, we got a mobile mic. And we're going to ask the other partners. I need Kate up here. I need Rob up here. We're going to have that mobile mic so the other partners, Liz is going to call you while we're in the street, so you can continue to give your speaking then. And the cameras and all are rolling. Now we're going to need you to start tweeting out and texting. We're getting ready to take the street. We want to make it go viral. I'm going to make it in a moment. I'm going to ask you to do that. And you need to take a picture. Thousands have come and tens of thousands online. Take a picture of the crowd, send it out and say, we're getting ready to hit the streets. Now, the last thing I want to mention to you is you got to understand in movements, the powers that be, sometimes on both sides, they have strategy too. And so we heard last night that they were going to first try to target Liz and I for something different. And then they said, well, we couldn't really do it for her because she didn't have quite the many same arrests here. They did it 2 years ago when she did the Supreme Court. So they want me to act so that the headlines are about me and not about you. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And see, servant leaders have to know how to get out the way. Because they'll play you. You'll play your ego. See, they want the headlines to be, Reverend Barber stayed in jail overnight and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Rather than people came from 33 states in the nation. Well, I'm an old dog. I might not look like it, but I've been doing this a long time. And plus, the Holy Spirit gives you wisdom. So the Spirit, the lawyers will tell you, listen, when I made this decision, I was sitting up here. I've been praying and thinking. I said, well, okay, God, you got a way. So what I'm going to ask is 10 people that are not going today that will be in town tomorrow. If you will just find Kate. Kate, where you at? Come on over here. Get close. Don't get scared. Get close. Now give it up for one of our national directors. I want you to find her and say, I'll go into the Senate building tomorrow. And so what we're going to do is, since they want to try to make only the issue about one person, we're not going to let them do that. Capitol Police, y'all, I don't know who told y'all that, but it's another trick coming. We're going to find a way to go do a sit-in tomorrow in Manchin's office. But again, not me. See, that's the problem. We got too many leaders that want to get in a back room with these folk. And you can't negotiate in the back room if you don't have a movement in the front room. You don't have any power. And so y'all cool with that? Liz is going to stand with, but we want the story to be that 33 people, impacted folk from states all across this country, came to this and said, we're not having it anymore. We're sick and tired of it. And that you either get it done in 2021, all of it, not some of it. And we're going to continue to mobilize and mobilize because you not caring about the 140 million poor and low-wealth people in this country is non-negotiable. It stops now. And so we want to ask one sister, Dr. Suzanne Frederick Gray, powerful president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. My dear sister Virginia with the League of Women Voters, and she has, I believe, Sister is that right? Christina with her. If Barbara Awan with the Justice Coalition is here. Joanne Vance with the American Friends Committee. We want to ask our dear sister with the Institute for Policy Study. And then we want to ask Black Voters Matter. Now, I know every one of these folks is a dissertation in and of themselves. We ask them to take the same minute that the people took. There are others that are on this list. When we get to the street, we're going to have a mic there. We can continue to do this. But are they all behind me? Y'all seeing? Because y'all looking mighty hard. All right, bring it.
I'm here representing 1,000 Unitarian Universalist congregations across the country who hold democracy, the right to vote, and the quality and dignity of every single life as sacred. We demand that the Senate pass the Build Back Better Act. For all people, all children and families deserve a healthy life, economic stability, and the opportunity to thrive. And we demand that the Senate pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Act right now, because democracy cannot wait. Voter suppression is the single gravest threat facing our nation. Through hundreds of legislative cuts across the country, Republicans are taking away people's voice and vote. And it's not just a threat to our democracy. It is an attack on the dignity and the worth and the rights of every person. And we will not stop until we win.
That's right.
Get it done. In 2021.
Madam President.
My name is Virginia K. Solomon. I am the CEO of the League of Women Voters of the United States. I am here representing more than 500,000 of our members and activists to say that now is the time to pass Build Back Better, to pass voting rights legislation. So we don't have time to keep playing with people who got into office because of the work that we did. The time is now for them to deliver their promise to us, and it's not just up on Capitol Hill. Now let me say, we got a president right down the street who can make this a priority, and he has chosen not to do so.
That's right.
He has made a conscious decision to put bridges before people.
That's right.
He has made a conscious decision to put other things before the people who got him into office. But I'm not going to take up too much time because I want Christina Schlate, who is the president of our League of Women Voters in Michigan, to be able to speak, because they are going through hell in Michigan right now. And this woman right here is standing on the front lines.
Thank you. We are combating voter suppression in Michigan, and in 2018, in Michigan, 61% of the voters supported election reform. They voted to protect the affidavit, so if you forget your ID, you can still vote. They voted to have no reason absentee ballot. And in 2020, 5.5 million people voted in Michigan, and 2/3 of them were absentee. Now our own legislatures are taking steps to make it harder to vote through over 39 bills to suppress voting rights. And a ballot signature initiative is on the streets for signature that will turn back the clock significantly, all in the name of election integrity. We've had over 150 audits by the Secretary of State and local election officials validating the integrity. If this initiative gets the 340,000 signatures that is required, the legislature can make it law without the governor saying anything, and that's less than 4% of the people that will make it happen. We want to protect your rights. Thank you.
As others come, let me tell you how slick Joe Manchin is. Well, we got to be careful. You know, he negotiated so-called this Freedom to Vote Act. Inside that act, most people have not read it. Civil rights groups better read it. It's some good stuff in there. But inside it, they codify voter ID for the first time in the history of the world, nation. And most reporters and all aren't even reporting it. We support the original For the People's Act, because that's what he supported before it was possible to pass. But now he's trying to play three-card Molly. And I don't play cards, I don't like Molly. Molly's okay. Oh, Lord, I messed up. There's a Molly.
Hey, everybody! We got a word for those people in front of you who are sitting in a building that was built by black slaves. We're here to say to them that they got a job to do.
That's right.
They can't be talking about they're going to go on recess and they haven't passed the Voting Rights Act, all the protections that we need, that this man, John Lewis, gave his life for. We demand that the White House give the leadership now to this movement. We want them to say, stop talking these lies that we can out-organize this problem. Stop talking this lie that we can out-litigate this problem. There is only one answer to 19 states that have passed voter suppression laws. There's only one answer to all this election subversion. There's only one answer to all of this work that they're doing to purge people from election boards. There's only one answer to the gerrymandering. That is, pass the acts now! 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 Free to vote!
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 Free to vote! That's right. Don't mess with Bob.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joanna Vance, and I am a wife, mom, friend, and organizer in West Virginia. I like to say that I am all of those things as a direct result of being a person in long-term recovery from substance use disorder.
God bless you, sister.
I'm standing here today in 2021 wondering why much of our government still has an 1800 mentality.
Okay.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. What bootstraps? Those broke away years ago, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. We need a plan, and that's what the Build Back Better agenda is. A plan that could revitalize our economic and community life, addressing poverty, care for children and the elderly, health coverage, access to education, jobs, infrastructure, climate, and so much more. The Build Back Better agenda will be a major down payment for America's future, one which we hope will eventually ensure a healthy and inclusive society in which all people can live a life with dignity and thrive, not just survive.
That's right. That's right. Y'all notice that we don't separate issues? It was a major strategic error. Not just of the White House, but even of many who are organizing to split these issues. The same people against voting rights are the same people against BBB, are the same people against Medicare and health care, the same people against living wages. And if they are cunning enough to be together, we ought to be smart enough to come together. Sarah Anderson from the Institute for Policy Studies.
Hey, y'all. We all know that in the richest country in the world, we have plenty resources to take care of our people and our planet.
That's right.
The problem is too much of it is going into the pockets of the wealthy and into the war budget. Last week, the House passed a Pentagon budget that costs 4 times as much as the life-saving investments in the Build Back Better Act. And in 2017, Republicans passed tax cuts for the wealthy and big corporations that also cost more than all of those investments in the Build Back Better Act. They want us to believe that what's good for billionaires is good for us. That trickle-down scam is a scam, and we all know it. But we are so close to passing a bill that rejects that nonsense, that raises nearly $2 trillion from the wealthy and big corporations to invest in human needs. And we are this close because of you, because of the Poor People's Campaign and so many movements who are demanding a moral economy. It is time for Congress to get it done in 2021.
Say a moral economy. Dr. King said that the reason for voter suppression was not just to attack black folk. It's maybe targeted at black folk, but this voter suppression is targeted at the entire progressive voice in this country. He said the voter suppressors fear the coalition of poor and low wealth people of all races coming together and being able to vote in a way that challenges the aristocracy and changes the economic architecture of the nation. That's why we must be together. These last two brothers and sisters come first from Black Voters Matter. They understand this. They understand that fighting for black folk has always meant lifting up all folk who need justice in this nation.
Good afternoon. My name is Wanda Mosley. I'm the National Field Director of Black Voters Matter.
Yeah.
I'm at the same time, I'm excited to be here with you. I'm also frustrated that we have to be here yet again to demand, not ask, demand protection from the federal government to save our right to vote. We need these lawmakers to understand that right now in Benton Harbor, Michigan, people are lined up to receive water from the state because of the lead in their pipes.
That's right.
Right now in Denmark, South Carolina, people are taking empty jugs and pitchers to a stream to fill them up with water because they don't have clean drinking water.
That's right.
People need to understand that climate change is real. Ask our neighbors in Kentucky. Ask our neighbors in Tennessee. Ask our neighbors in Illinois who just survived one of the largest tornadoes this country has ever seen. And this is man-made. So I'm here today to remind you, we must keep fighting because history shows us when we fight, we win. Yeah. When we fight, we win. When we fight,
we win.
Thank you.
Thank you. This last sister who's coming, and then the others are going to speak on Pennsylvania Avenue. You can trust this sister in the back room and in the front room. She does not change. And so I want to invite Melanie Campbell to come and light it up before we go to the street.
Thank you, Reverend Barber. Reverend Barber, I know I'm going to bootleg being I'm not a preacher, but I had this paper, but this came to me.
Okay, come on.
Matthew 25, 45. The king will reply, truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. They also will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison and did not help you? He will reply, truly, I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me.
That's it. That's it.
Get it done, Senate.
Get it done.
Get it done, Manchin. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. White House, do your job.
That's right.
The people united will never be defeated.
Say it. Her and her group have been doing it every Wednesday. We started more Mondays. In July, they started on Wednesdays. That's what it's going to take. Us moving in our silos and knowing when to bring those silos together. And we have a prophetic word at the end of all of this today. Mansion, cinema, White House, whoever is playing games and not doing everything you can to deal with these issues that didn't start with COVID, but were exposed by COVID. You are not just fighting us. You're fighting the God of history. You're engaging in sin. And you put the nation's soul at risk. It has always moved me, Melanie, that text from Matthew that's built out of Old Testament text. It does not say, I will say to individuals. It does not say, I will say to the Senate. It does not say, I will say to the Congress. It says, I will say to the nation. All of these attempts, we gave over $5 trillion in less than 20 months to corporations. And can't find 1.9 trillion over 10 years to take just a step. And then on top of that, you want to block the ability of the people to give you a report card at the voting booth? This is not just a threat to this moment. It is a threat to our children's children and this entire democracy. And we cannot let history go down and history not record that there was somebody that said, we will not accept this. And so now we go to the streets for nonviolent direct action. And this is just a precursor. I want to say it to all the media that's here. If you think this is an action, you watch how we mobilize when we don't have to be so COVID safe. And so we're going to ask all the persons who have, come up here, Kate. She's going to explain to you what to do as we move. Those persons, organizations that need to speak, we come to the street with us. We're going to do that right over there. Begin to tweet it out that we're going in the street, looking in the Capitol, making the sign. I need 10 of you all, if you will, come from West Virginia, Kentucky, whoever, that can stay overnight for tomorrow. But today, we want them to understand this is not Biden against Manchin or Sinema against Manchin and Biden or Biden against Sinema. This is the powers that are expecting us to consent to their constant keeping their feet on the necks of the people. How many of you don't consent to that? Well, you said, I do not consent. I do not consent. Is there a dissent? Is there moral dissent in this house? Yes. We are the moral dissent, and we refuse to give any more consent to the continuous hurt and demeaning of poor and low-wealth people across this nation. And it is so.
All right, are y'all ready to take the streets? All right, now let's have some quick instructions. And everybody listening, can I get an amen? All right, everyone who has an armband on, please raise your hand up high. Everyone in the action, look at the folks who are raising their hands. The people who are going to go first are the folks with the armbands. These are our impacted state leaders, our faith leaders from across our state campaigns. They are going to go first and walk over towards where all the marshals in the vests are. Marshals, can you raise your hands? Only state leaders first, please, with armbands. The folks doing the direct action go in front. Everyone else, once you see them gathered at the front of the line, we will invite the rest of the partners and the faith leaders to come behind. and then we will have everyone else in the action here line up down the sidewalk, having a straight line formation, and if we can go 2 by 2, that means 2 people and then 2 people behind, we'll all line up, and then we will hear from our marshals when we're going to get started. Can I get a forward together? Forward together! All right, let's go.
I did it last time.
Spread out 6 feet apart. Going backward to the left. Don't get in the street yet.
Just intersection, right? I guess just that intersection.
Stay on the sidewalk.
Presbyterian background. Hey man. Okay. Who do Indiana and Oklahoma can get down? Y'all, let's talk serious.
All right, spread back, spread back. Hey.
All right. Testing. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. We're lining up here on 3rd Street. We're lining up here on 3rd Street. We're lining up here on 3rd Street.
Y'all got any questions?
We have the Capitol behind us.
Any members of the media? Yes, sir. Any questions?
We're here on the National Mall for this Mass Moral Monday in Washington. We're here to get it done in 2021. You can see by the hundreds of people, we know we're hundreds of thousands watching online. We have states, over 33 speakers from the states have talked. Oh, okay, let's go over here. Let's actually, you want to go this way? Okay.
Transformational, it should be. He's slowing down the voting rights. He's playing games with this coward filibuster. That's his whole game. Slow it down. Lock it for get things getting done for the billionaires, his corporate donors, and then to undermine voting rights. Let all of the voting suppression bills get passed that wouldn't be passed if we had the Voting Rights Act restored and if we had federal protection. So he's slowing it all down, and then things will get passed. Now he might come out next year and say, "Oh, I'll vote on something now," but that'll be past the implementation. So he's a trickster. He's a slickster. The president needs to go to West Virginia. Stop meeting with him in his office. Go to his state. You're president of the whole country. Go to Arizona. Meet with the people. He's meeting with Manchin. We've been begging. The people have been saying to the president, you need to be sitting with poor and low-wealth people. So that the issue is not you against Manchin, but it's you against his own people. He needs to bring poor and low-wealth people that are impacted, the folk that need the family leave, the people that need the child income tax credit, the earned income tax credit, the home health care workers, the people that need housing. That's what he should be meeting with, and moral leaders. And then turn the mic over to them, not to organizational leaders, but turn the mic over to the people and let them go to the mic. Imagine having an Oval Office meeting with poor and impacted people, as we've been asking for 12 weeks. And his handlers said, well, we're going to wait. Well, somebody suggested, they even said, well, are they going to bring the right poor and low? What is wrong with you? You need to bring people from West Virginia and Arizona. This is a people's fight. And Maine and Michigan and Mississippi and Alabama. Don't accept any state as being red. They're all states with human beings in them. What if you had a conference, a White House conference, with all the people you're trying to help? Why are you scared to put your face on the people you say you're trying to help? Bring them to the White House. Bring moral and religious leaders. Bring pastors, not just people who have the title minister, but pastors who live with the people, who have to bury the people when they die because of the neglect that COVID has exposed. This stuff didn't start with COVID. It began way before COVID. COVID has exposed. And then meet with them and then call the media. The president bring all the media and say, today, I don't want to talk as president. I want you to hear from these folk in West Virginia and in Arizona. If he did that, he could move Manchin. Because the one thing Manchin doesn't want is to be shown up for hurting the minors and the poor and low-wage people in his own state. No politician wants that. But as long as you play this backroom game, you get certain people going in, sitting down with him in the back room, and not having, you can never have a backroom negotiation without a front room movement. That's contrary to history. There's no place in history that's ever worked. Even Franklin Delano Roosevelt told A. Philip Randolph, go out and make me do it. You got to run this like a campaign. You got to run the things you said during the campaign. You went to the people during the campaign. Go to the people now. And there's so many folk that want to help. They want this to be done. They want more. The Economic Policy Institute said it ought to be $10 trillion over 10 years. We're going to spend $7 trillion in military spending over the next 10 years and can't find 1.9 trillion over 7 years. That's only 190 billion a year for 10 years, and we just passed a military budget for 700 billion a year, 7 times more for war than for lifting up poor and low-income people, 8 million more of whom fell into poverty during COVID, while billionaires made $1 trillion. We just broke the filibuster for a debt ceiling, and we have not broken the filibuster to stop people from driving this democracy into the dungeon. It's morally inconsistent, makes no sense constitutionally, and it's economically insane. And so today I'm going to stop. I want you to talk to these folks. The only reason I'm here, the only reason Liz is here, because we're with the people, but talk to these folks. Please, media, go talk to them. You heard them. That's why we put 32 of them up from 33 states. This is what this is about. Not about Manchin.
Reverend Barber.
It's not about him and Biden. It's about folk that die. 250,000 of them a year from poverty. What the hell is wrong with us as a nation? Go to the street.
Reverend Barber, do you have a plan to primary these?
We got a plan. We got a plan to turn out a vote of poor and low-wealth people like you've never seen, and the data tells us it's the giant, sleeping giant in every place. And in 15 battleground states, poor and low-wealth people represent 40% of the electorate. And many of them have stopped voting because they feel neglected. They don't vote Republican, they don't vote Democrat, they just don't vote. But now they have a movement to align with, and they decided they're going to vote and fight for themselves. Watch and see what comes. So we're going to the street. Oh, God.
As you heard, that the Build Back Better plan is just a step. We're about to be heading over here now. That the money that we need, they said we needed $10 trillion. We're not getting that. But do we see the military budget that high? Yes, yes we do. And here we have over 140 million poor and low-wealth people. We're demanding full restoration of the Voting Rights Act. You can see it right here. We'll follow here. Here you can see our demands. In the filibuster, pass the Build Back Better plan as a first step. Raise the minimum wage. Pass the For the People Act. Pass protections for all immigrants and stop the destruction of the Apache holy site of Oak Flat and all destruction of all holy site lands. We have been waiting for far too long for what we need.
With the organizers themselves.
I'm actually with the West Virginia.
Look at the people, look at all the people they denied. Oh, oh, look at the people, oh, look at the people, oh. Look at the people, look at all people, they died. Oh, look at the people, oh, look at the people, oh, look at the people, look at all the people, they died. Oh. Look at the people. Oh, look at the people. Oh, look at the people. Look at all the people. They died. Oh, look at the people. Oh, look at the people. Oh, look at the people, look at all the people, they died. Look at the people, look at the people, look at the
I just learned last week that bass singer speaks into a megaphone. That's what gets that distorted sound. You don't know that.
Look at the people. Look at the people.
There's a camera person who go on both sides of them. So if you go to the right to move on the side.
Look at the people.
Everybody's done their home tests.
You're going to see our faces. You're going to hear our voices. We won't be silenced anymore. We will not be denied. Too many people hungry and houseless. Too many people whose rights are being taken away from them. Too many people whose holy lands are being destroyed. We say no more to this. No more. One is too many, but 140 million? That's a shame. And we've had enough. That's why we're here. That's why we're lifting up our voices. That's why we're taking the street, and we are demanding to be heard. We're demanding to be seen. And we're going to keep on demanding until we get it. Listen to the people. Look at the people. a fusion movement across this country. Over 33 state speakers have come here, traveled across the country to say, we're tired, and this is what we need. We need living wages. We need rights and protections for our immigrant siblings. We need an end to the filibuster. We need a fully restoration of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Too many people have been denied, and we're saying no more. You're going to hear our voices. They're going to see our faces. There's people across this country that are here today in Washington, D.C., demanding that we get it done in 2021. We're here to tell you that we're here and we demand living wages. We demand protections for our immigrant siblings. We demand the stop of the destruction of holy lands. We demand to have fully restoration of our voting rights. We're going to go see the voting. We're going to see the people here. This is not about one person. It's about all of us. Look at all the people. That they denied. Oh, too many people. Oh, too many people. Oh, too many. We're on 3rd in Pennsylvania. We're taking the streets. Circle up, circle up, circle up. Circle, circle. Circle. We're making a circle, everybody. We're making a circle. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to be in a circle right here. Come on. Look at all the people that they deny. Come on and say, whoa, look at the people. Oh, look at the people. Look at the people. Look at all the people. Y'all can come on in the street to the first one. You gotta come in the street to the first one. Come on. Oh, too many people. Too many people have. That's all come too close. They can put a song around. Oh, everybody. Look at the people. I need I need a living wage plaque up here. I need 3 weeks of annual leave plaque up here. Come on in the street, come on the sidewalk. Come on. Come on in the street. Look at the people. I need some plaques right here. Look at the people. Look at the people. Look at all the people that they deny. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Up so they have to see. Well now, look at the people. There it is. Look at the people. Look at the people. Look at all the
march a little bit. Don't go nowhere. Let's march in place. Oh,
look at the people.
Come on, pick those feet up. Come on, come on.
Look at all the people that
let's make the ground true. Come on. I said, oh. There you go, Timmy. Come on, do it New York style. Yeah. Oh, rock a little bit.
Look at the people. Oh, look at the people.
Let the line go that way. Not you. The rest of y'all in the circle. Everybody else on the sidewalk. Just come in the street. And let the line go all the way back. Step out the sidewalk right where you are. Step out. There's a line up in the street all the way back to the bus. Let me get through.
Look at the people. Look at the people.
Straight line, the rest of it. Straight line. Straight line. Let the line go all the way back. Let it go back. I say, oh, come on and say it. Do it. Oh. Don't close the circle behind. Keep the circle behind.
Too many people
have died.
Too many people
have died.
Too many people.
Where's the issue sign? The issue. Everybody just quiet for a second. Just quiet for a second.
Look at the people.
Just quiet for a second.
Look at the
Quiet for a second. Somebody say movement discipline. Can y'all form a perfect circle? Come on. Let's do a perfect circle. Get out of the middle. Form a perfect circle. Perfect circle. Not the rest of you. Only armbands. Everybody else is forming a straight line in the street.
We've got them lined up to move in.
Okay, let's move into a perfect circle or armbands. Everybody else, you can stand in the street. In the street off the sidewalk until you get a warning. Come on in the street till you get a warning. Marshals, bring them in the street. Perfect circle, not a small circle. Spread it out. Come on, let's do movement discipline, y'all. Stop talking. Shh. I need the issues placard. Marshals, anybody else on the sidewalk, bring them in the street until the first warnings. Clinton, all those folk on the sidewalk, so they can come in the street. They can come in the street.
First warning just happened.
First warning just happened? No, it hasn't. Where's the first warning?
Haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it. Don't try to trick us up, police. But we got some more where this come from. I heard y'all want to put me in jail all night. Ain't gonna happen until we go to Manton's office. Whoever gave that order, you tell them they just tricking. We be nice, but not no more. We gonna be sweet though. We're not gonna be nice. We ain't gonna be like January 6th. We fight for the real people.
That's right.
Y'all ain't got to worry about us. Y'all ought to be. Come on, get arrested with us today. Come on. We fighting for you and your children. Get a perfect circle, y'all. Anybody else on the sidewalk want to come in the street? Come on in to the first warning.
I don't know where the circle starts or ends.
Y'all got an oblong circle. Y'all ready to crank it up?
Yeah! That's right.
Where's Yara? Hey, Yara, you over there? I got a question for you. Liz and I got a question for you. You know, we need them to hear it. Imagine playing games.
Yes, he is.
If we got a few organizational people that want to speak, you can come in the middle of the circle. We're going to let you speak in a second. But we gave the shot it. Y'all done blocked traffic on Pennsylvania Avenue. Lord have mercy.
Mercy.
Imagine 2022 when we got all this field. Y'all ready to do it? Yeah. Well, I got a question for you. Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people?
Which side are you on?
Somebody say the people side.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Y'all said, stop it and let her start the song. Stop it and let her start. You better hurry up, cause we ready to sing.
Which side are you on? 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 So mention which side are you on? Which side are you on? So mention which side are you on? We on the freedom side. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We on the freedom side. Which side are you on? So mention which side are you on? We on the freedom side. Which side are you on? 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 Which side are you
Don't you know now?
Which side are you on? 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 What side are you on? I said the anthem came going for freedom fighters. Taught us how to fight. And we gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. I wanna know which side are you on?
Call out those
Which
states.
side are you on?
That's why the freedom fighters are.
Which side are you on?
Oh yeah.
Which side are you on?
Mississippi, call it out.
Mississippi's got freedom fighters showing us how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right.
Somebody say it now.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Arizona.
You know folks got freedom fighters showing us how to fight. We gonna fight all day and night until freedom fighters taught us how to fight. And we don't fight all day and night.
Lieutenant Shaw, the United States Capitol Police. You are engaged in an illegal demonstration. If you do not move from the roadway, you will be arrested. This is your first warning.
North Carolina has freedom fighters taught us how to fight. And we don't fight all day and night till we get it right. We fight all you want. We fight all you want. We for the freedom fight. We fight all you want. We fight all you want. We fight all you want. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. We fight all you want.
Yes, sir. You know we're not coming to get arrested. We're coming to arrest the attention of the nation. We're not violent.
You're still blocking the roadway,
And you know we don't want, we've heard that folk want to lock our people up in COVID problems and jail and not give them the discretion. And I just want to know, is that true?
Sir, we're going to process everybody the same way we always do.
How's that?
If they're eligible for a 61B site release, that is how they're going to be
What makes it eligible?
depending on the amount of times they've been arrested, sir.
You know you can waive that too. We've seen it waived before. Why would you want to put people here who are nothing like January 6th in environments where they could catch COVID, or people like myself who are disabled?
Sir, discussion's out. I'm ready to give a second warning.
Well, I just want you to know, we your friends, brother. We fight for you. We ain't like them other crowds. Y'all need to think about this. All of y'all that's out here, every one of y'all, you need to think about who you getting ready to arrest. You need to think about who you getting ready to arrest. We ain't like January 6th. We come here in love. We come here in love. You need to think about it. They talking about putting people in jail in COVID unsafe conditions. You need to think about it. You need to pray about it. Because you're touching God's people. You're touching God's people. We not them crazy people. We love you. We fight for you and your children. Everybody listen up. I want you to stretch your hands toward these officers and pray for them. I know they went through hell in January 6th, but I want all of them to feel something when they arrest us. I want you to know we are the people that are trying to do what's right. And to hear that somebody gave y'all an order that people who may have gone 4 or 5 times, you would put them in jail with COVID, when folks didn't even get arrested on January 6th. We pray for you because they're making you do something that's wrong. I'm going to step out, but you need to understand that we are fighting for your children. We're fighting for you. And I want you to that you know when you touch the people today, you touching God's folk. You ain't touching them criminals on January 6th. You touching people who love this country. People who fight for this country. In fact, some of y'all ought to say, I can't do this today. We don't mind getting arrested, but we didn't come to get arrested. We didn't come to get arrested. We can't do what's right. Some of y'all take off your badge. Yeah. That'll be a shame and a disgrace. Stand with us. But we'll get arrested.
This is Lieutenant
and we don't care.
United States Capitol Police. You are engaged in an illegal demonstration. If you do not cease and desist at this time to move from the roadway, you will be arrested. This is your...
And you can see we have people from across the country who are in the street. 3rd in Pennsylvania, we are demanding what is right. in the wealthiest country in the world, that you have people who are going hungry, that you have people who are homeless, that you have people who do not have voting rights. It doesn't make sense. We have more than enough in this abundant country. It is about how we are using that power. And right now we are seeing the greedy get more and those that less get little.
If you put us on the bus, you better get another bus. You remember that?
That's right.
You remember how that went, y'all?
I do.
Why don't you tell them? This ain't all of us. If they take some of us, more will come. What's that chant, y'all, about the bus? We're going to need another bus.
You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us.
Say it.
You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us. You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us. You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us. You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us. You're going to need another bus, because, baby, there are more of us. Rain or shine, get justice on my mind.
Rain or shine, get justice on my mind.
Rain or shine,
Got justice on our mind.
rain
Or shine, got justice on our mind.
rain
Or shine, got justice on our mind.
rain
Or shine, got justice on our mind.
rain
Or shine, got justice on our mind.
Rain or night, the system's running right. Come on. Rain or night, the system's running right.
Day or night,
the system's running right.
day or night.
The system's running right. Day or night, the system's running right.
Get it done in 21. Get it done in 21. Get it done. 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 Get it done.
Congress has the ability to get it done when they're not. So that is why we're here. We're taking the streets and we're demanding that Congress get it done in 21. Too many people are hurting. Too many people are suffering. We can't wait until next year. We can't wait until another election. We need it done now, in this year, right now. We need to save lives.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Make sure they're clear.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Let's make sure they're clear now on what we want. I say the Build Back Better as a step. Get it done.
Get it done.
In 21.
In 21.
Voting Rights Act restoration. Get it done. In 21. For the People's Act. Voting rights. Get it done. 21. In the cowards. Filibuster. Get it done. 21.
I know he doesn't want to get locked up, so just let him know. Absolutely, yes, I don't want to make a big scene and antagonize him or anything. Yep. Just. He's still demonstrating too. He's subject to arrest. Yeah, he's in the street. If he moves that chair up onto the sidewalk, he can talk all day. Okay.
One time I was inside, I have no idea what hers is. Yeah, okay. I was confused there for a second, brother.
Let them keep rolling out. Right now, right here, putting their bodies on the line. We have people right now putting their bodies on the line because they've had enough. They have enough of having to wait for what is right. They're tired. We're all tired of having to wait for living wages, for health care, for protection for our immigrant siblings, for protection of the Holy Lands. We have people from across the country putting their bodies on the line for the over the 140 million poor and low-income people in this country.
Okay, gotcha. We have a couple of guys who went to North Carolina PD.
All right, let's make some noise for the people. Let's make some noise for the people right here. Let's make some noise for the people right here.
The gang problem is really...
All right, people, we have people going in. If you can make some noise and say, thank you, we love you. Thank you, we love you. You can see people are already being taken, y'all. We need to hear the love. We need to hear the love.
On today, we'll be back. On tomorrow, in December, when we come, in June, hurt us, we get stronger, hurt our people, we get stronger, poor people, workers,
then you gotta cuss a little bit. So you say, so ask the question.
Do the people want a revolution?
Hell yeah!
Here we go. Do the people want a revolution? Hell yeah! Do the people want a revolution? Hell yeah! Do the people want their voting right? Hell yeah! Do the people want their voting right? Hell yeah!
Right here you can see people from Massachusetts to Arizona, from California to Wisconsin to West Virginia.
Come on, let's raise it up. And now we're going to sing, what do the people want a revolution? And you're going to shout, it's time or about time. How about that? It's about time. It's about time. And you can't say about. You got to say about time. You can't say about. You got to say about time. Do the people want a revolution? Do the people want a revolution?
Do the people want a revolution? About time.
speaker. I think we have a speaker from the Sisters of Mercy. But I think she was just taken. So what we're going to say is that what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
Voting rights and child tax credits and trying to get our voices heard to end the poverty. Countless sisters of mercy in the Americas know about love and the impact that it has on communities across this country. When Pope Francis came to the U.S. and spoke to the joint session of Congress, he said, "You are called to defend the dignity of your fellow citizens in the tireless pursuit of the common good." This is actually what politics is all about. And if politics is truly to serve humans, it can't be a slave to the economy and finance. So now is the time for courageous action. Wake up, Congress. People's lives are at stake. Our democracy is at stake. Do you not see the suffering, or do you not care? You've got your eyes closed. Last week, the House passed the biggest Shame! Shame! Shame on this. Wake up. Stop listening to the thousands of defense contractors and lobbyists. If there was ever a time to shift our country's priorities, when is it? Right now. Listen to our people. They've suffered far too long. Amen. Far too long. Far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Thank you, we love you. 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 Don't let nobody turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. Gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up the freedom land. We're gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I'm gonna let nobody turn me around. Gotta keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up the freedom land. We're gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me
What do we want right here today? 15 union. We're gonna fight till we get our way. What we want? 15. When we want it? Now. What we want? 15. What we want it? Now. What do we want right here today? Voting rights. What we want? 15. When we want it? Now. What we want? 15. When we want it? Now. What do we want right here today? How can our people? We're going to fight till we get our way. How can our people? What do we want right here today? Voting rights for all. We're going to fight till we get our way. Voting rights for all. And what we want? Voting rights. When we want it? Now. What we want? Voting rights. When we want it? Now. And we want it now. We want it now. We want it now. We want it now. We're gonna fight till we get our way. 15. What we want? 15. What we want it? Now. What we want? 15.
Now.
What we want right here today? Contact right for my people. We're gonna fight till we get our way. Contact right for all. What we want? Come on, people are getting arrested. Direct action, forward together. Don't lose it, come on, forward together. Forward together. Forward together. One step back. 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 Standing for our rights. Standing for our rights. One step back. Standing for our voting rights. One step back. Standing for our voting rights. One step back. Standing for our family. One step back. Standing for our family. One step back. Forward together. 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 One step back. Standing for our people. One step back. Standing for our people. One step back.
We've had a powerful day.
One step back. Standing for our people. One step back.
We've had a powerful action today. We have people risking arrest across 33 states in this country. This is what democracy looks like. We've been out here throughout this season of action. We're not going anywhere. They say, show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Yeah, people have risked arrest that put their bodies on the line today. We have heard their stories. They are parents, they are grandparents, they are teachers, they are healthcare workers, they are pastors, they are public speakers. They are here lifting their voices, saying enough is enough. We demand to have voting rights. We demand to have living wages. We demand to have health care. We demand to have protections of our immigrant siblings. And we demand to have the protection of all holy lands in this country. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to continue demanding what we need until we get it. This is the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. And we're here and we're coming in 2022 for a mass moral march on Washington. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We get a panel of the